Hey, welcome to Quarantine Comedy. This is Lenny Schmidt. Do me a favor.
Hey, welcome to Lily Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. That's right, I am in charge now. This show is where we talk with entertainment professionals about their lives, their careers, and how they've adapted before, during, and after COVID, or if they've adopted at all. This show we live stream Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and every show is uploaded to an audio podcast to all platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Lily Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy is brought to you by you. We have zero sponsors. We support solely by you, the viewers, and if you want to help support, like us, continue to support other artists. If you can look at the ticker, you can support with other ways financially. It'll show you up there. We have a great show for you today.
Lily, I know my computer.
No! I gotta go.
Check test, check test. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Lenny Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. Good to be here, man. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in tonight. I apologize. I'm running. What did you call me? I literally crammed a bunch of food in my mouth during the intro, and then drank this. We have a juicer now, so we make juice at the house. So I'm trying to eat because I ran out of time. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Larry Warden. Thank you very much for your support, Mr. Warden. Bam. Larry Warden just hit me up on the Cash App. Can't thank you enough, buddy, for doing that. I appreciate it. Also, thanks to everyone that supported over the weekend. Excuse me. Reconnecting Comedy was what? Okay. Reconnecting Comedy was Saturday night, and a lot of you guys watched the show, and a lot of you guys supported the show financially. I can't thank you enough. It was Brenda Runyon, my friend Kathy Marquardt, the piano. We've had on the show 3 times now. She's one of the Howling in the Moon performers. She supported the show, as well as I want to say, I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say Rachel as well. Let me double check to make sure I didn't screw. Yeah, Rachel Zimmerman, Brenda Runyon, and Katie. Excuse me, all supported the show Saturday. I really appreciate that. If you watched the show Saturday night live, you know it was a train wreck. It was chaos. It was nuts. But when I went in and edited it a little bit, and it's a little cleaned up version on YouTube as I work on it. Everybody I know that watches it is kind of funny. There's an issue with streaming, and then it catches up in real time, and then John McClellan's moving really fast, and overall, it was funny. I had to drop 2 videos at the end, which we'll use a little bit later. But the show was, once it was edited and cleaned up, that version looks pretty good on YouTube. The live version was a train wreck. The first 8 minutes was streaming issues, and I cut all that out. So if you turn it on, it goes right to the video. And congratulations also to all the Patreon members and the hard work they put into the videos as well. They were very funny. They were great. The voiceover work they did was good. Robin Greenberg's video was good with the tax thing, and then as well as the Mulligans, of course, always work together. So there we go. If you watched the show, thank you very much. If you want to support the show, you still have lots of opportunities to do so. The easiest, go to lennyschmidt.com/if you can. All of my options are listed there. So there you go. I have a guest on today. Real quick before I get to it, my guest Wednesday is this week. Later this week, I'm in Vegas. I'm playing the Delirious Comedy Club Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some of you know that because some of you are going. And my guest Wednesday is playing the other club downtown, Jokesters Comedy Club. Jeff Capri is on the show Wednesday. So we'll both be talking about the shows on Wednesday, and we will be in Vegas this weekend. If you're in Vegas or nearby, please come on out, watch the shows, and enjoy it. Let me go to the news. There wasn't a lot in the news. There's a lot of bad news. Is all bad news. It's never good. Although I did see this. They're considering. I know a lot of you guys are cruise ship followers and cruise ship fans. They're considering when ships get launched to have no kids on them at the beginning. So I'm sure that makes some of you might be very happy about that. But I just ran across that article. I haven't had a chance to read it all. So let's go to the YouTube board, man. See who's here. We got Larry Warden, of course, I mentioned is here, and all the usual suspects. Brenda Running's here. Myrtle's World is here. She has her very own YouTube page now. Shauna Johnston, thank you. I'm sorry. Rachel Zimmerman, of course, is here. Robin Greenberg is here. All the people that tune in normally are here. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks so much, man. It's awesome. So let's get to it, man. Let's do it. Our guest today is he's from Chicago as well. He's a comic. I've known him for years, very long time. We go way back. He's very funny dude. In fact, let's take an opportunity right now and take a quick look at my good friend, Mr. Bil Dwyer.
Life just full of surprises, isn't it? Your whole life you hate old people, and then you are one. Great. Just feel so lucky, looking like Mike Pence's older brother. Really happy about that, Burbank. That's right, older brother. Yeah, I know. I'm often told how lucky I am, and I think, and maybe I am, I don't know. God, you ever run into somebody and you ask them how they're doing, they're like, just trying to be grateful. So not good then. Not good? Grateful, that's the new bottom. You'll ask gay couples, what are you, a topper or grateful?
Folks, that's my good friend Bil Dwyer. Here he is live. Let's see if I can do this correctly. There's Bil Dwyer! Huge applause for Bil Dwyer.
I think some people might be offended by that grateful tag about the topper grateful.
The topper grateful?
That tag. I think some people might be, yeah.
Who's going to be?
It's clever. Yeah.
Who's going to be offended?
It's clever.
If they're offended, they're not watching this show. Well played, Bil Dwyer.
Also, I look, when you see yourself on video, you go, "Oh golly, I'm a little fat. Look at that. I'm a little fat." You look at that tape, and you go, "Huh, that jacket is crazy, and I look a little fat."
What was I thinking?
But what are you gonna do?
I do that a lot. I get a lot of. There's a lot of videos where I've watched, and I'm like, "What was I thinking?" You know,
when you're performing, you always go sport coat, right, Lenny? When you're on the cruises, you always go sport coat, right?
No, not me.
What?
I'm not a sport coat guy, not at all. No.
What do you wear when you're on the cruises?
Button shirt. I'll go button shirt usually.
And you tuck it in or you untuck it?
It depends. Sometimes if I'm wearing the slacks, I tuck it in. If I'm wearing the jeans, I wear it out.
And it's got to be the right shirt to wear out. Like I saw somebody on the Tonight Show doing the Tonight Show wore an untucked shirt and fucked up the bottom button like a kindergartner.
Oh, really?
Like screwed up. Yeah.
Like a double. They have like a double skip or a double ripple. Did he miss a hole? Or
like he buttoned the bottom buttonhole went on the second to bottom button. So that's all I could see when I was watching a show. It just drove me up the like. Why do you have no one in your life, anybody, or do people hate you so much that they button your shirt for you wrong? Right. Or did you piss off every production assistant at the Tonight Show?
I do. That's funny. You're watching it and people are like, "Is he funny?" You go, "I don't know. I can't tell. I'm staring at this fucking button right now. It's making me crazy."
You're right. And and I think that'll I mean, that ruins, the littlest things will ruin anything, just,
imagine how he feels.
The Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. I remember, they had the stupid Ultron, bad guy, and he's like a robot.
Right.
And I remember my son saying, "Why does he have a tongue?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's a robot." Why does he have a mouth? He just needed a speaker. Why does he have a tongue. Like if you tore out a robot's tongue, he wouldn't be able to speak.
Yeah, right.
What? Oh. So then that's all you're thinking about the whole time. You're watching Age of Ultron, and of course it's terrible.
Right. You're like, why does he have a tongue? Why does he have a tongue?
Yeah. Oh, and I just thought it was brilliant. I was like, oh yeah, exactly. I'm trying to turn up my volume. Am I too loud? How am I?
No, you're fine. I can turn you
how
up
am I
and
doing
down
so
over
far?
here. You're doing great. I control your volume here. I can turn it off. I can turn it down. I can turn it up. I am in charge.
How much time we got left?
We got. We're
When do you
almost
give
done.
me
You
the
want to wrap
light?
this up? You want to wrap this up? Are you good?
Where do you give me the light? I want to end strong. I don't want to fucking peter out.
Okay.
I
No,
think
you'll-
you said. Oh, we'll go 60 or 90, and I was like, oh my god, 90. Jesus.
I say we'll go as long until we're bored. Sometimes I lose track and I look up and we're at 90. I'm like, oh crap. I try to keep it around an hour.
Remember when Pat Sajak had a talk show and it was 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Great idea. And it also gave comics more time, but Pat was, it wasn't good.
No, that was a
It
rough
wasn't
run
good.
for him. Didn't go
That
very long.
was late 80s, I believe, right?
Was that CBS or was that Fox?
Oh, no, it wasn't Fox. I think it was CBS.
I think it was CBS.
Or it wasn't ABC, right?
Mm.
Because ABC always did night since the Iranian hostage crisis. Boy, Ted Koppel must have been like, "Yeah, keep him there. This is a money machine. Don't bring him back. Don't. This is my big break." Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Ted Koppel, but he was great.
No, people who watch this show know. My demographic is that. Dude, your backdrop, I like how it blows in the wind. It looks like you're outside and those are clouds. It looks like the clouds are moving around you.
Well, I mean, I got a beautiful breeze blowing through this place.
Smart.
My apartment. I got an apartment now, Lenny, because I got divorced. You know what that's like.
I didn't know you got divorced,
what
but
that's
welcome to
like.
the club, my good friend. How are you? I haven't seen you at the meetings yet. What's wrong with you?
It's
And of
it's so
course you
funny
got
the
divorced.
things you're told.
Of course you got divorced. Every comic in the
Hey,
world, every
it was
comic
good.
I know.
It was a good run.
Yeah.
I know one comic who got divorced and then remarried the same woman. I love that. I love that story. Not just with a comic, but with anybody.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't. That's,
like, oh, okay. They usually they get divorced, they marry someone else, and then they go and remarry their first wife. Like, okay, I was right. Okay, good.
dude, I know a guy. This guy I know. He was married. He got divorced and married someone like way younger, 20 years younger. She was a dancer on a ship, and he was a comic. And he married her.
Yeah.
And she was really younger. And she goes, I want to have kids. He goes, okay, well, let's talk about it in a year. So a year to the day, she literally wakes up and says, we need to talk about kids. Like immediately. And then he had another baby. And I'm like, that's where you lost me. I'm like, that's where you lose me. Why would you have another baby you know what I mean? Once I got through kids, I don't want to go through kids again. I don't want to go through infants and babies and diapers and all that crap.
You know what? I mean, like, I agree with you mostly, but I mean, they're gas, man. Kids are great until they're not, unless you have a bad one,
Yeah, sure.
and then that's
Right.
on you. That's
Yeah.
you. You're the, yeah.
Yeah, you
If you have a bad kid, that's mostly you.
Yeah, it's
The whole
80%
nature
you.
versus nurture thing.
Sure.
It's nurture.
It's nurture almost
That's
all the time.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a that's
I mean,
certain things are taught, like racism. That's a taught thing. There's not a racist gene. No one's born with a racist
right.
gene.
I've got it. I've isolated the racist gene.
I
Everybody.
think I got it all figured out. I think we can nip
can
this in the bud right
vaccinate
now.
all the
We-
racists.
everybody.
Yeah.
Let's get everybody clean.
Yeah, and then you know what? Racists would just find something else.
They-
They'd
Well,
be
there's gotta-
against some kind of material.
Sure. It's got to
They'd
be
like
something we hate.
They'd be like anti-wood then. God damn it! You can't. Well, wait. Where did you guys grow up in Chicago?
We were South Side, and then went to high school over in the Bolingbrook area, Romeoville area.
Yeah, I was southwest side. I was Evergreen Park. So
Okay.
yeah, we know of racism. I mean,
Oh yeah, we're
we-
really familiar with it.
yeah.
Yeah, especially from that area. In that area, it's set up by streets. You can actually, it's on the map. It's when you go to the L stop. It says 59th, 60th, racism. That's pretty much the way it's set up in the orange line. Like, yeah.
You will, if you are ever a white guy walking through a black neighborhood, like cops will like pull up and go, "What are you guys doing here?"
Yeah.
Oh, we're lost. Get in the car.
I saw that play out over by, right where near Rush Street where Cabrini Green used to be, you had to walk underneath the viaduct, and then you were in the Cabrini Green area. But if you're on the other side, you were over in the Rush downtown drinking area. And there's a hot dog stand there. So I'm at the hot dog stand, and I see tourists. They're obviously tourists, dude. They're wandering under the bridge, and they're looking around. And this cop is in there. He's getting a hot dog. He looks, and he goes, "What the fuck are these two people doing?" And I go, "I have no idea what those people are doing." And he just left. And he got in his car, and he drove up to him, and he made him turn around and walk back the other way. He's like, "You don't want to walk over here. You don't want to be in this neighborhood." Boy.
See, there's more of a problem than just there is a deep problem where you cannot, walk into a place and people go, "Oh, that you can't go in there. That's bad." There's something wrong. There's a deep problem that needs to be solved.
Yeah,
it's like the homeless thing. It's there's a depth to that problem that no one has figured out yet.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and also. When Black Lives Matters, it's like we can't even give them that, It's like everyone's like, "Hey, all lives matter." Right. We get that, but
right.
Jesus, can you give them a little something?
Yeah, don't you understand? Do you understand what they're trying to say? They're not saying other lives don't matter. They're not saying that only Black Lives Matter. It's not called only Black Lives Matter. It's just called Black Lives Matter.
And I remember, I think I was listening to a podcast where some guy goes, because the message Black Lives Matter is really it's perfect, right? It's meaningful, it's simple, right? But I was listening to a podcast, and this, the podcast goes, "Hey, remember everybody, Black lives totally matter." It's like, okay, look, you're ruining it, all right? You don't have to Spicolize it, all right? Black lives are totally tubular, everybody. Remember that. Oh, just killing me. We have no idea of what it's like to be a black person in America. But the minute they say something, we're like, hey, we got it rough too. It's like, no,
everybody's got that
complete difference.
But everybody's got that judgmental thing in them where they think they have to throw their 2 cents in. And I've always been a big believer, and I just had this conversation yesterday. I'm like, someone will go, "Well, what do you think you should do if you were black? What would you do?" I go, "I can't answer that question." I go, "I don't even want to try and answer that question. I have no idea what it's like to be black in this country." Can you imagine? I couldn't imagine having a conversation with my kid every time he left the house, telling him, "Hey, right, be careful, put your hands on the wheel, don't be disrespectful. You don't know who's out there. You don't know what's going to happen."
Yeah.
And we had the conversation. I was on the road with, I was doing a gig with, you know who Percy Cruz is? He's a comic out of St. Louis. And he does a ton of cruise ships now. He's been around a long time. But I was with him once we were in the Bahamas, dude, and he's telling me about, we were going to Bahamas. He's made a comment about how there's prejudiced people there. I go, "All right, dude, do you think maybe," and I was honest because he's a friend of mine, so I can say this. I go, "Is it true, or are you overreacting? Is it really a prejudice thing here? I don't understand." And this is where
he's a black guy?
He's a black dude. So this is the first time I understood white privilege when he goes, "I want you to watch for these things." And he gave me a list of things, like a bunch of things that would happen when we went out. And they were little things like when we went out to eat and people came up to take our order, they looked at me and never made eye contact with him. When they came up, they asked me if I wanted more stuff. I mean, it was just the littlest thing to somebody grabbing it, or people say goodbye to me. And every time something happened, he would just look at me out of the corner of his eye. And by the end of the day, I was like, "Son of a bitch." I go, "I'd never noticed any of that shit." And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "It happens every time." He goes, "You think it's bad here?"
It's just little things that I would imagine it just would weigh on you. It would weigh on you and weigh on you.
Yeah, after a lifetime
eventually,
of it.
Maybe and you might give up, Yeah. You might go, "Fuck, I guess this is what it's going to be like." And we have no idea what that's like, man.
But then people go people go the other route, like you said, because once people start to judge, then they point the finger like he's the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like you're the one with the problem because you have a problem with everybody. You think everyone's racist and they're not, and you don't. They don't understand. You just don't understand. So you can't wrap your hand around what he's thinking.
Yeah, no, right. And also coming from, Chicago at the time that I grew up, it's like you got to get past that, man. Like I think there's plenty of people that I grew up with in Chicago who still feel the same way about black people that they felt like when they were kids.
Yeah.
When you're stupid.
Right.
When you're stupid and you're just, listening to what your parents or adults are saying,
right.
about how bad these people are. It's like, you got to get past that, man.
Right.
You got to get past it.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to grow. You got to grow up, man. You got to get,
right. Yeah.
You understand the world a little
right.
bit.
You got to grow up and then get divorced. That's what you got to do.
And then all questions are answered, my friend. See?
That's the adult thing to do.
Yeah.
Get yourself divorced.
Get yourself divorced.
Why would I work on my marriage or myself?
Right.
When I can just cut this out.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
man.
you get yourself a sheet with purple clouds, and that's all you need. That's all you need in life, man.
And I think this one's upside down. I think this one is not. It's two sheets.
Is it?
So
I like
there's a line going through my head.
I like it. That's why
probably
it's very artistic. I like it. You did the about.
That's probably all people are going to see now is the crease.
Now they will.
Through
like, yeah, he's right. Son of a bitch.
Top of through my baby fine hair. Oh lordy. So when I got and it was amicable. I mean, it was I did a bit about how we had a big night where I confessed my transgressions, and in the bit I say, like, when you're an asshole in marriage, you try and soften the blow by using terms like transgressions, or missteps.
Sure,
that's a good one. Like you
miscommunication. I always like
oh,
miscommunication is a good one. Miscommunication. That's a simple. We had a simple miscommunication.
Oh.
How long ago did you get divorced? How long ago did you get divorced?
Well, that's the thing. It became final. Like we were separated for a while. Oh boy. I mean, we actually had two separations. We were giving it a run. First separation, and then we tried again. We were back together, and then it just became like, all right, this isn't working,
Right.
So I couldn't get it together, and I don't know. I think again, it's on everybody, but more me, I suppose. But anyway, I got officially divorced like 3 days before the pandemic quarantine.
That's the best. It's the best week of your life right there.
I tell people, I would tell people, when we'd be out, I would say, yeah, my wife and I are getting divorced. And they would, always guys, of course, because I'm hanging out with comics and guys, and they're like, oh man. And I shouldn't. And again, when I say things like this is what people were saying to me. So you don't judge me for my for my words. But it was always like, oh man, I'm telling you, Bill, when you get divorced, it's going to be a pussy parade. and it's like, which is a parade that I want to see, and that I think everybody wants to see.
Right.
Well, here come the Clydesdales. Oh, look at that. They're giant horses, but those pussies got no problem handling them. Oh, I love the big horses. Oh. Here come the marching bands. Oh, that one pussy's having a problem with the tuba. It seems to happen every year. So the pussy parade never happened. I was waiting for it. Me and a family who flew in, sitting there on the curb in Pasadena. Oh, one of the pussies coming by.
Was it postponed? Is it coming?
So yeah, it didn't happen for me.
Well, the COVID came and screwed up your whole mojo. But even
everybody's mojo, right?
Yeah,
everybody's. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, at what point do you not? And I'm assuming your viewers are smart and are vaccinated, because I'm vaccinated.
They're smarter than me.
You fully vaccinated?
Yeah, fully vaccinated, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fully vaccinated for 3 weeks now, so I'm past it, baby. I'm all done, right?
Yeah.
I'm right, and I never caught it, and I got myself tested a number of times. But what do you need? Like, I've seen like interviews with people Like the guy goes to visit his mother who's in the hospital with COVID and she's on a respirator, right? And he won't get the vaccine because he's waiting to see if it's safe. Well, what is that safe? You just visited your mother in the hospital wearing a mask and a double mask, you know? Is that it's amazing this stupidity.
Well, I enjoy the people that think that the vaccine has some sort of radio transmitter in it and everybody's being tracked. I love that approach. Cracks me up more than anything.
You know what? I don't fucking care.
I know that's the thing.
Track me.
I do.
You know what? Take as many pictures of me as you like. I am a vain motherfucker.
Right.
Let me know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Take pictures of me. Yeah, everything. Yeah, whatever. Put cameras everywhere. I like to get dressed up. I look good. I like to smile. I like to say hi to people. I'd like that to be documented. I don't want people thinking I'm an angry divorce guy. Fucking do whatever you want. I mean, fuck. Like, right? Like, I texted somebody about kitty litter the other day, just a text, right? And then, like, all of my Instagram ads are about new kinds of kitty litter. I mean, you can't believe the advances in kitty litter.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
And it all came from a text and everybody has that story. They just say, Alexa, play, Bruce Springsteen. And then all of a sudden you're getting, Springsteen. Hey, have you checked out his new book? Hey, have you checked out Springsteen? Whatever.
Well, we did that when we were talking about buying a car when my oldest daughter moved. My kids live with me now out here, and my oldest moved out here. And
wait, that was your daughter who did the opening, right?
That was my youngest. Yeah, that's Lily. So she's
that was your youngest. And how old is she?
She'll be 17 in a couple weeks. Her birthday's coming up.
My goodness. And then the oldest one is what?
She's 19, man. She's going to have her associate's degree. Two girls. She'll have her associate's degree in 6 weeks. And then she's going to
in what?
CSUN. Film production and digital media production.
God, that's great. Yeah. That's so great.
Yeah, she's smart.
Man, so. And it's so people mock the millennials, but it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, the price that we paid for college was nothing.
Well, don't tell her she's not a millennial. First of all, she's not a millennial. Don't tell her. She'll stab you.
Oh, she's not? What is she?
Generation. What's the new generation? Gen Z? She's Gen Z.
Generation Z?
Yeah, yeah. She hates millennials.
All right, so she's younger than a millennial. Well, whatever. Yeah. They're going to get mocked,
right.
because they like good food, because they like avocado toast. They're going to get mocked, which is brilliant. Jesus.
Well,
you had avocado toast?
Oh,
it's fantastic.
The best. Oh, it's the best, dude.
God damn it.
She makes it from scratch now. We got it at the store the other day, and now she makes it every morning. She makes her own avocado toast. My daughter. She makes avocado toast every morning.
And have you had some?
Yes, it's phenomenal. Are you kidding me? It's the best.
So you fucking squeeze some lemon on it, some coarse salt.
I like
maybe
egg.
Some lemon pepper.
Egg yolk.
Oh, Christ almighty.
That's good.
Yeah. On toast.
Yeah. Well, these kids have access to so much more information and stuff. They're way ahead. They're way ahead than us. I was an idiot at 18 and 19. I had no idea what I was doing. But at 18 and 19 now,
I disagree with you. I imagine you probably had the same amount of information and you were just as smart or as idiotic as your kid. Look at you drinking green shit.
God, it's green juice, buddy. I'm healthy.
What are you? What are you, a millennial? It's so great though. Like we mock them, but we'll go to Whole Foods and there'll be grass that they'll throw in a blender and we'll do a shot of it. It's like, oh, I feel great.
Right. Right.
We didn't have that. Oh,
right.
They have to pay an exorbitant amount for college.
All right.
Right. They get out and they're not guaranteed a job. There's no rebuild. There's no, the country's being built like the greatest generation, who fought a war and then came back to these, $15,000 houses.
Right.
They have none of that.
Right.
They have none of this.
Well,
and yet we mock them.
Yeah.
Because they want to wear comfortable shoes and overalls. What the fuck? What is wrong with us?
I don't know.
I know. When you get old, I just right? Like I'm older than you, right? I believe I'm older than you. At the very least, I look older.
I wasn't going to say it. Yeah, but you do the gray well. The gray looks good on you, buddy. I like it.
Oh yeah, I hope it's getting warm in here, so I hope my white hair dye doesn't start running down my neck.
Oh,
because
you'll be fine.
I've got this beautiful brown hair that I just put this temporary white dye in because I want to look my age.
I like it. It looks good. You know what? In 2 months, dude, if you sport that look when we fully open, it's going to be a pussy parade for you, my friend. Just a pussy parade.
And here comes the Grand Marshal of the Pussy Parade. Well, it's the guy who played Big Pussy on The Sopranos. Once again, he's our Grand Marshal. Once again
everyone.
This year.
Give him a round of applause.
The guy who played. If I'd done any research, I would have his name, but I don't. Years ago, I was told. I've been told I look like a number of people. Like years ago, I remember. I think it was KP Anderson was like Lee Majors. You look like anyone ever tell you look like Lee Majors? And then Bob Eubanks, like 20 years ago.
Oh, Bob
like,
Eubanks.
You look like Bob Eubanks.
I don't know.
Which I have no problem with.
Yeah.
Bob Eubanks is the game show equivalent of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Bob Eubanks is a badass. Bob Eubanks, I think used to ride rodeo. Bob Eubanks is badass.
Really? Seriously?
So,
total hardcore.
You don't want to fuck with Bob Eubanks,
I guess
man.
not. Like a man's man type thing?
There's a reason he loves the horses during the Rose Parade, and that's because he has a cock like a horse. That's why. Bob Eubanks is badass, man. Peter Marshall, not so much. Gene Rayburn, right in the middle. You want me? If you want to go through game show hosts, and I'll tell you who's badass and who isn't.
Gene Rayburn. It was Match Game, right? I love that show.
Gene Rayburn. He lived in like Cape Cod, like most of the year. And then like 5 times a year, he would come out to Los Angeles. They'd put him up in a great hotel and he would tape, 5 shows a day for 2 weeks.
Right.
So he'd bang out 50 shows.
Right.
And then he'd go back home to Cape Cod, and he stayed married to his wife, and he's weird looking. Gene Rayburn is weird looking.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's got big teeth.
He looks like a real life version of anything you see in Mad magazine. You know, he's like a real life Alfred D. Newman kind of, like an older. You know what I mean? Kind of like that look.
Like if Mort Drucker drew him, he'd look exactly like he is.
I think that.
Saying, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. When Game Show Network started, which is whatever now, 25 years ago, I remember thinking, all right, game shows are back. Here we go, man. Game shows are coming back. Game Show Network, a network devoted to game shows. Here we go. Yeah. And then it's just, reruns of old game shows. Yeah. And it's just, you're just like, what the fuck, man? Is this what cable is now?
Yeah.
It's
a new channel to just reproduce all the crap that we put up years ago.
Yeah. In the early 90s, all these channels came out and all they did was just, rerun shows. Like Home and Garden. It took a good decade for all these networks to kind of find their way. And Game Show Network still hasn't found its way.
Right. Well,
you're talking to a guy who's had 2 shows on Game Show Network.
Yeah, right. What's with are they done? Is BattleBots done? That was the last one he did. Is that correct, or is it?
Well, that was done. I did that for Comedy Central, but the new one is on Nat Geo.
Okay.
And it's a great show. It's not as funny as ours, right? We were on Comedy Central. We tried a little harder.
Right.
But just to be funny. But it's a good show, but it's like I've been to a live taping, and it's like basically the same show, except now they allow fire. There's fire involved.
Oh, okay, good. So pyro.
You can shoot fire out of your robot.
Okay. Well, that's kind of badass.
Was not allowed.
Right, was not allowed
We
before.
were purists back in the day.
Sure you were old school? There was no fire. The original BattleBots is ridiculous. You had to rely on ingenuity.
I worked with Sean Salisbury and Tim Green.
Yeah.
And boy, you couldn't come up with two different football players. I mean,
right.
Tim Green was this brilliant author, family man.
Really?
You know, oh yeah. Oh, Tim Green, yeah. I mean, he's great, and he's suffering from, I don't know if it's ALS now or early onset dementia, but it might be ALS, but he's having a rough go of it.
Oh, that's too bad.
And then Sean Salisbury, who is just like a giant. He's like a 6'6" 5-year-old, you know, but with a driver's license and credit cards.
I could buy stuff. Well, that's weird because I would think Salisbury would be the smarter one. Quarterbacks, I would think, have to be smart, man. Right?
Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Look to Terry Bradshaw. I don't know.
Oh,
Look,
yeah, you're right.
met,
I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Who was it? I met of the Chicago Bears. I didn't meet Rex Grossman. I met the UCLA guy that they drafted before him.
Oh, Cade McNown.
Oh man, I met him at a celebrity golf tournament, right?
Yeah.
It was Sean Salisbury's celebrity golf tournament, and I think he was going into his second year.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, you know, I'm a big Bears fan," and he was just like, "Uh-huh. I was like, we're fucked. Oh man. Oh boy. Like there was just nothing.
Yeah.
Just like when I met Bruce Jenner. I was pretty thrilled to meet Bruce Jenner, right?
Yeah, right on. Yeah,
again,
decathlon, the whole thing. Yeah.
This is a good 20 years ago, right? I'm doing something in Vegas. We're doing an award show, and I meet Bruce Jenner, and my goodness, I don't think transitioning makes you any smarter. So please, everybody, do not vote for him for governor.
Come on. Her. Sure. She's running for governor. This is California. They'll vote anybody in office here.
Like just such an idiot. Like just like when you can, like, not to judge people like immediately, but again, I believe in love at first sight. Like, you know something about somebody, you know, as soon as you see them or as soon as you hear, as soon as you say, you know, you have a minute with them, you judge them. And Bruce Jenner is an idiot. And I'm sure Caitlyn Jenner is also. My God. He's such an idiot. They could not make him not look like an idiot on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Every clip he's into the Kardashians, he looks like he's clueless standing there as the girls were running around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And anybody would say, hey, could you make Bruce look smarter? Like his managers, like, hey, can you guys edit this so Bruce looks a little smarter? You know, we tried. We did our best.
We've done everything. We've used filters.
We got some new software.
We got all kinds of stuff. We've we ran them through. We rewrote it 9 times. We shot from 5 different angles.
Yeah, we got filters.
We
angles. Yeah,
we dubbed in his voice with an actual professor that knew equations, and he could spew out.
We wrote everything out for him, but still,
we showed him colors. It just got confusing. It's really more production to make him look smarter than it is to. It costs more. You know what I mean? It would be too much money to make him look smart. Why don't we just let him float out there and we'll be fine?
The CGI to make Bruce Jenner look smarter on Keeping Up with the Kardashians would have taken so much money out of all their pockets.
Yeah.
All their big fucking ass pockets.
And time consuming.
By the way, here's a question.
Yeah.
What, like when I was, I don't know, and I probably still think this way, it used to be like small asses were great. Like you would see a girl who had like a tiny ass, you'd be like, oh man, that's great.
Right.
And then at some point in my life, these bulbous things, these giant bulbous asses became the thing. And ass transplants?
No, the implants, not ass transplants. They're implants. No one transplants an ass. They'll implant the ass. Like you can't take an ass. You can't go, I need a new ass. and then someone.
Oh, that'd be great.
And you couldn't give your ass to someone if they needed it.
Like
You know,
Dick,
if you had a brother who
Dick
needs a liver.
Cheney gets a new ass. Dick Cheney gets a new heart. And hey, while you're at it, give me a nice ass.
Can I get an ass while you're back there? Just for digging around.
Like any old guy who gets a heart transplant, you're like, are you fucking kidding me? All you're putting a Maserati engine in an old Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, right.
All you're gonna do is shit's just gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Your body's not made for that.
No.
And Dick Cheney has a new heart. Are you kidding me? Like, you need a paint job. Like, you can't. There's nothing you can do. But an ass transplant. Oh my. Oh. That's the Face Off sequel right there.
There's got to be like a book that you can scan through different asses to find the one that you want. You know what I mean? There's got to be a whole. What about this one? It's a little poofy. How about the next one? That one's too small. Go to the next one. It kind of droops. Oh, that's it right there. That's the one. You need 4 hands to grab that ass. I want that ass.
Are you sure? That's an iron worker's ass. That's the one I want.
Ironworkers, I'm in.
But I mean, I would imagine you say that in a mocking way, but I imagine if you go into a plastic surgeon, right? Like, you're looking at a catalog of noses, Certainly noses,
right?
They kind of can do whatever the fuck they want. Lips, it's like one thing. You want to go big and stiff, right? I guess so. That's what we specialize in. The goddamn, when are they going to make lip transplants right? Like, that's where the words come from. That's what everybody sees. Like boobs, like only a special group of people see those,
Right.
Usually they're covered up, but lips, that's what everybody looks
right
at.
out there.
And they've never gotten it right.
Right. Yeah.
Shame on plastic surgeons. Shame.
Hey, they go where the money is, man. Everybody wants, but they don't do the lip ins. They do the collagen thing, right? Because my daughters are, what's that called? Collagen? What else? Botox.
Well,
Where's
there's
Botox?
collagen.
Botox goes in the forehead, right?
Yeah, I remember. Like years ago, I got a mean fucking wrinkle right here.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, I'm not going to say my wife at the time.
I was just going to ask you.
I'm not used to that. I don't want to say my ex-wife. I'm not used to that yet. So I got this mean wrinkle right here, and she goes, and I was going to the dermatologist for whatever, and she goes, "Why don't you ask him if he can Botox that?" And I was like, "All right." And so I said to him, my wife wants to know if you can, Botox this wrinkle away, and he goes, well, that'll be, it'll probably take, 10 injections, they give you 10 milligrams.
Jeez,
and he goes, and it's $25 a milligram. And I go, I got $200. That's my ceiling. And he yells to his receptionist. He's like, set up Bil Dwyer for 10 milligrams of Botox for $200. Here we go. And 3 days later, that thing was gone. It was gone. It's back now, I think.
Yeah, it comes back.
But it was gone for like 6 months. Yeah.
You got to, once you do Botox, you got to keep doing it.
Right. Like I couldn't get rid of this shit. I mean, like, that would look weird.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you can't get rid of all of it because then you look like a Ken doll. You know what I mean? You don't look like a real person. You look like a mannequin. You got to have some wrinkles and shit.
Right. And,
plus, you've seen people go too far. I've seen people that are in their 70s and they look like a mannequin, and you're like, whoa.
Oh,
and somehow that's okay with them. And I'm like, all right, I don't get it.
And I know this is wrong, but I think it's weirder when the fellas do it.
Yeah.
Like how quickly did you check out of Kenny Rogers when he started getting his, getting his face done?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he looked totally different for a while.
Yeah, you loved the Gambler. You loved it. Don't lie, Lenny.
No,
you loved the Gambler.
I totally loved it. I did.
But he gets the eyes, like
they get this weird eye thing done.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, this is weird. And then Jaws and Mickey Rourke. Come on.
Well, once you
Did
start
ever
doing
think
it, once they start doing it, you get addicted to it. You do more. Well, Michelle Pfeiffer did it too, right? Michelle Pfeiffer was really big into it, right?
Was she?
I believe so.
I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was. I would if I had knowledge that she didn't do it, I would tell you to shut your goddamn mouth.
I'm going to Google
because
it.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
I don't want to. I'm not saying you can't love her. I'm saying I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong.
Now? Are you looking up Michelle Pfeiffer?
Although I can't imagine.
She's always had a strong jaw and a strong set of cheekbones.
Yeah, but I think, wow, you really. How strong were they?
Yeah, that's why I'm dying to see French Exit. Like her movie she did last year, she got nominated for a Golden Globe, and it's based on a book by an author that I love, and I like, nobody's got a fucking screener, I can't.
Really?
I can't find it. Yeah.
Didn't you get?
Yeah, nobody's got.
Oh, I didn't get one. Well, you didn't. Well, yeah, I didn't get.
I don't know anybody at the Naples Times Tribune.
No, you're not connected
of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
You're not tightly connected with the HRF or HFR.
Right? Yeah, Hollywood Foreign Press.
I could just call up a guy right now.
I don't know anybody at the.
Let me set
the Kremlin Telegraph.
Let me hit up my buddy.
Hit
up my buddy Pierre and see if I can have him send over a link to you. I think he can send you a link.
Oh, okay, that could be.
Hey, are you no? If your divorce was just final going into COVID, stand-up wise, how are you doing stand-up wise with the divorce and the marriage? Here's why I ask. When Campanero went through his divorce, I was working with him on the road. I was working with him on a ship. And he'd have one joke that would say, my wife, and the next joke could be my girlfriend, and the next joke could be my ex-wife, and he was all over the place. And I would go, hey, how's it going? He goes, I'm having a hard time with this writing thing. Because like when I got divorced, I had been married for 15 years, and my whole act was about being married and,
right.
Working, like I know a lot of your stuff has to do with family and stuff. So are you started reading things in and writing stuff about being divorced and how's it going?
Like it started when I got separated.
Right.
And I was talking about being separated, and it was funny because my wife and I were trying to get back together. So she was like coming out to shows, and I was doing these really personal jokes about being separated, and I think she enjoyed it. I think she got a big kick out of it.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, where you're married and then all of a sudden you're not, or you're talking about your kids and all of a sudden they're adults.
Right.
Like you got to change, man.
Yeah, you got to update and change.
I'm still working on it. I mix in some old stuff. But I talk about being divorced now, and if I'm too honest on stage, I think people are like, "Oh, it's like no, it's okay."
No, you got to be careful.
Okay.
There's like 2 or 3. I've had people come up to me after a show. And I've been divorced almost 10 years now, so they'll come up to me after a show and go, "I'm really sorry it didn't work out." And I'm like, "It's okay. It's good. We're better now. We're in things.
Right.
Everything's okay. Everything's good." But when your kids though, like the difference with your kids is they grow gradually. So you eventually have to change your material as you go along. But when the divorce happens, it changes so fast. Like I remember when I first started doing the shows again, my whole thing was about being in a family. And I told Jimmy Pardo this. I go, it's driving me crazy because I'm on stage talking about being a family guy. And he goes, the crowd doesn't know that you're divorced, or the crowd doesn't know that.
Right.
And I go, yeah, but
you
it's
can do that.
it's driving me crazy. I don't like that though. I don't like to lie. You know what I mean? There's so much truth to what I say that it's got to be some sort of balance. But you do need to update. Like, and I didn't notice it till the daughters. I had jokes I wrote about my kids when they were 8, and the girls now are 19, and they're like, "Dad, you either can't tell that joke, or you got to set it up by saying I was 8." And I go, "Oh shit, I didn't really think about that because you tell a joke for so long."
Yeah. Like I remember, like that happened to me like early on because I was a young comic when we had our first baby, So I would talk about pregnancy, the fucking ultrasound, all this stuff, Yeah. And then I kept talking about it, and then I got to a certain age, and I was like, well, she's, I had 3, so it's like the oldest one is 15, the youngest one is 5, I don't know when I ditched the ultrasound. It wasn't that great anyway. Actually, it's good. You look back at your old stuff and you go, I can't do that anymore. And it's like, well, why not? Or then you see someone else do the same joke. You're like, God damn it. That was my joke. That was my joke 20 years ago.
Right.
But you go, look, no one's going to buy me as like a new father,
Right.
When you're 40, when you're 45, unless you're a weird guy, unless you're Larry King,
right.
And look what happened to him. Dead at 80. Dead.
Yeah. Who saw that coming?
Look what happened to him. He wouldn't acknowledge.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy, he was like, boy, you find your style. Like Larry King goes, listen, I don't care what my shoulders look like. I'm going suspenders.
I'm doing
That's it. That's it.
100%.
And he had these weird, he doesn't have sloping shoulders like us. He's got weird, they're straight across and they're wide. And then, of course, it's just like a perfect bottom frame for that crazy face of his.
I think
it's
he was
nuts.
I think he was an angel and those were his wings stuffed in his shirt behind him. That's what I think.
He was an angel.
Yeah.
He was an angel with an earpiece, apparently.
He was. He was like, next caller.
Yeah. I just never got Larry King. I just never got it.
No. I never watched.
I don't know.
He always reminded me of Tom.
I don't know.
Who's it? Tom Sobel? Do you remember? Was it Tom Sobel? Do you remember him? Is that right? Is that the right guy? No.
I think
I got the name wrong.
not Barry Sobel.
No. The guy Dan Aykroyd used to do impersonation of him. He
did Tom. Dan Aykroyd used to do Tom Snyder.
Tom Snyder. That's what I'm talking about. He had the late nights. He was like Larry King before there was a Larry King, but Snyder smoked like chain smoked, and we talked to his producer through the whole.
Oh
yeah. That
was the most interesting like late night talk show I think ever.
Yeah.
It was so weird. And do you remember? And this will mean nothing to anybody around here. Do you remember Wally George?
Let's bring it up. Yes.
Out here in Los Angeles.
Of course. Yeah.
Like you tell people about Wally George, and that guy was terrible.
Right.
It was, and the whole audience knew he was terrible. That's why all these college kids would go there and just like go along with him, just to make fun of him.
Right.
Because he knew nothing. He knew nothing, and he was Rebecca De Mornay's father.
Was he really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know who's back now is Tom. Remember Tom Likas?
Yes.
Likas was on. I want to say KLOS or something like that. No, KLSX.
Tom Likas. Did he always talk like this? And I'll tell you what, you ladies, if you don't want to give up if you don't want to give it up, well, you gotta give it up because we're fellas, and that's what we need. Right? Didn't he
That's
talk
the guy.
like that?
That's him. Yeah,
and it was all.
He's just in the last 2 months, dude. He's come out with some. I haven't heard about him in years, but he's got a Facebook page, a network, a podcast, all kinds of stuff, and he's back. So he's back. But
slow down. He's got a Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not. Wait, dude. MySpace. He's got them all. He's got everything. But then if you take a look at the promo pictures on Facebook, he looks all disheveled. He looks like Roger Moore, who's drunk, kind of. And
right. I don't think he's ever a good-looking guy. But all he talked about was what you ladies need to do to keep your man happy.
Yeah.
And hey, don't be double talking and it's just like
don't talk back. Don't be talking back if you know what's good for you. Yeah. He was the hardcore misogynist to like the millionth power.
Right.
I mean, he covered all that stuff.
Right. And you just go, really? And you're getting some? You're getting some. You should try charming. Oh, you don't have that. You don't have that in you.
Look, you got to go as you got, man. If he's got the whole misogynistic asshole thing, he's got to go with that 100%, 110%.
Right.
He's got to just jump in.
And you know guys who, whatever, when they have one thing, that's what they go with. And then what they do, they just pepper it everywhere. I mean, they just, it is a shotgun. It is just you're just spraying
Well,
pellets everywhere.
Because they go big. If they're gonna go with it, they go big. They go big, and
Yeah.
suddenly it's
like,
everywhere.
Like a lot of us, like we see someone we like, and maybe we talk to them, and then they leave, and you're like, oh darn it! These guys just like
Yeah.
It's such an assault rifle. Yeah, and we both know, we know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We both know who I'm talking about. He's a comic. We both know. Like, if you were a female, I've always like I don't. When I hear like a female comic or even any lady go, oh, it's so hard to meet a guy, I just think, what? Raise your hand. Stumble slightly, drop a penny.
Wow.
We're there. Someone is there. Whatever you want, we're there.
I think it's hard to meet a decent guy or a guy with expectations. Expectation kills everyone. You have expectations, and when you meet someone, you have expectations for someone.
Yeah.
And I guess it's hard to find those.
It's because we're so involved in our minds and stuff. We can't even relax for a second and just enjoy anybody for what they are. You know.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you have to have your expectations, or you have to, I like Asian women. You got to be that guy. You know. And it's like, what are you kidding? What, all of them? By the way, all of them? What is that, like 9 billion Asian women? Come on. What do you narrow it down? Who are you?
Look, there's 9 million. Can you be more specific than Asian women? That's not helpful at all. Make an effort. Jeez.
But again, you don't get whatever. Just enjoy whatever's there in front of you. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, just try. Just try and be nice, you dumb fuck. Jesus Christ. So we were, you and I were talking beforehand, and I don't know if we're wrapping up soon, but we should be, right? People are done with me.
We're getting close.
But we were talking about you on the cruises, and how I'd like to be on there, and I could probably be clean enough
You only need to do one or two clean shows. Dude, reach out to Levity. They know you over there at Levity. Reach over to them. You should be able to walk right into it. You know what I mean? I can't imagine,
well, who knows? I think you still have to,
Who are you with?
I mean,
who's your manager now? Who you got? Who's in charge of you?
I'm still with Bruce and Omnipop.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, he can. But I would love that. When I've done cruises, I've loved it. I haven't done well, but I loved it. But I think I'd be better now.
Look, I love them. They were great. I was horrible. However, it was a great time.
I was close to horrible.
The show sucked hardcore, but
those clear blue seas of the Bahamas, my God.
Dude, it's beautiful out there.
Man, just to have goggles and you're like, look at these fish. And you're in like, 8 feet of water. I'm not a good swimmer. I just put my goggles on.
There's an island. Grand Turk is my favorite island to go to, and you can stand on the beach of that island and look at the ship out past the port and literally see underneath the water all the way to the ship. It's so clear.
Really?
Oh, it's unbelievably clear. And the water's so buoyant, it's so salty that if you go scuba diving or snorkeling, they have to train people how to do it because you just float. I mean, you can almost walk on that water.
Because you just float, which I'd be fine with. I'd be fine.
I just go out there and float. I go out there, float in the water for a half an hour.
It's that salty.
It's
wow.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. I love that island. It's a great island to go to. They have a little bar there called Jack Shack, which is this guy owns it that built the dock, and he met a waitress, and they opened a restaurant. It's a great story, man. I would love to live there, but then every time I'm on that island and we pull away from the island, when you're on the ship, you can pull away. You can see the entire island.
They start shooting at you.
Yeah, they're shooting at you. They're throwing rocks. Don't come back! So I don't feel welcome. But you can see the entire island when you pull away from it. So all I think about is it's a small island. So all I think about is like one hurricane will wipe this island right out. Like we'll just destroy.
So I mean, again, you've had a good time. You've had a good life.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been a good run. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've
I'm
had
good.
a good run. Just get out there, fucking face that hurricane.
Why not?
I had a college professor. My meteorology professor. He'd never seen a tornado, right? And that's all he wanted to do was see a tornado. And I think all he wanted to do was, I think he wanted to die in a tornado, like the cow in Tornado.
Right.
I think he just wanted to be picked up and whipped and then
whipped
thrown
around.
Yeah, and that would be great for him.
Seems like a weird goal.
It'd be like you or me dying on stage. I mean, why would you want to suffer through something if you could just be fucking killing and then all of a sudden you die? Oh, that'd be a dream, Dick Shawn. So that's how Dick Shawn died. And he laid there on stage.
And the crowd thought it was part of the show. They were all into it. They were clapping. Which
I love.
And he's laying there completely stone dead. And then the applause slows down.
Yeah.
Should we check?
Like, where's the documentary where they talk to the people who are in the audience and they talk about their guilt? You could have saved Dick Shawn.
It's very possible if you would have not given him the standing ovation and went up there and beat on his chest a little bit, that maybe he would have made it a couple more shows.
But if you talk to Dick Shawn, he'd go, "I'm so glad they didn't fucking revive me because that'd be how I want to die."
Yeah.
Just quick, man. Like you bend over to pick up a quarter and you get shot in the head. Great. Like and you're all excited. Hey, found a quarter. And then boom, bullet in
that's
your
good.
head.
That's like a little bit of happiness too, right before you die. You know what I mean?
That's how you want to go out. Ever increasing joy.
Yeah. 25 cents. I could. And then you're gone.
Yeah. But you and I were talking about on the cruise ships how they have a bar there, right?
Yeah, there's
Howl at the Moon.
Yeah, on Norwegian in particular, there's 6 ships that has Howl at the Moon, and we share the stage with them. So one night is comedy, one night is Howl at the Moon, the next night is comedy, blah blah blah. So usually my off nights I go into Howl at the Moon and hang out, and drink.
Right, because that's the place where they have the 2 pianos, right?
Right.
Right, and people go out of their minds for it.
They go
right?
apeshit.
They go apeshit. Like they had one of those at Universal, right? At the at CityWalk at Universal. You take the big elevator up to the comedy club.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this, but
I remember that. Yeah.
They had the Jon Lovett's comedy club up there.
Yeah.
And honestly, like nobody knew where the Jon Lovett's comedy club. Literally, the sign for it was as big as my head. Like that's it. It was like Jon Lovett's comedy club.
Yeah.
In this dark corner.
Right. It was up this weird. There's like this weird elevator and staircase or whatever in the back. It was around.
A giant escalator.
Shop. Yeah. Right.
But you would take the escalator up and you would go right to Howl at the Moon would be right there at the top of the escalator.
Right.
And they'd have the 2 pianos in there, and there would be a line out that door.
Yeah.
Just people just waiting to go, and you'd look in through the windows, and it's just the greatest time ever. Yeah. All because it's 2 pianos, right? People are going out of their minds. And then you would walk 30 yards to the right to this dark, and it even felt damp, like it was so awful. Like it felt, and you would see the little sign, Jon Lovett's Comedy Club. And you'd walk in there, and it was gigantic because it was an old B.B. King blues club.
Right.
So they had the main floor, a second floor.
No, it was weird, and it was and the stage was very weird because the stage was there, and they were like, it would go 3 levels above you, so you could look up. Yeah, like right.
If you were in the top level, you could only be in the front row to see the comedy.
Yeah, you couldn't see the comedy. Right.
Yeah, so it was the most, and like I don't think I was ever there when they even filled up the bottom, the main floor.
Right.
And it was just awful.
Yeah, that was a tough room.
They'd be begging people to come in, all comps and
that's one of those dudes of people running up down the Universal CityWalk with flyers or passes. Hey, you comedy? Right. Are you into comedy? It's just
It's always, are you in a, because everyone's into comedy, right?
I know, right.
But
Why you love
the
when-
question is never specific enough. Like, hey, do you want to see average comedians, or do you want to see desperate or angry comedians? Do you want to see them?
Yeah.
Because we got them.
You always
Do you
point
want
out.
to sit in a giant club almost by yourself?
Yeah.
And watch comedians
Yeah.
yell at you? Oh man.
By the way, you have to buy
No.
2 drinks at $18 a pop. Can you do that and then sit down
Yeah, that right.
and get a great
And,
a great list of up and comers, which it translates to open mic night, which we like. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm not going. Why would I go to open mic night? Do that.
But occasionally, like if you went in there, like that's where I first saw Melissa Villaseñor, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, you
Right.
know. And then like 2 years later, she was on SNL.
Right.
You know, it's like talent is there was talent there, but there was no one to see it.
Yeah, there's no
it
one.
was goddamn. It was talented trees falling in a forest, and nobody could hear them. A couple of them were talented. Oh, but I just wanted to bring that up because I always. And then Jon Lovett was never there.
Nah, he never.
Like
went
I
there.
remember seeing, like at the Laugh Factory, they had a big marquee that said this weekend Jon Lovett, and I thought he's got his own club
why are you
at
here?
Universal. Shouldn't he be there? Shouldn't he be getting people into that club?
Yeah, I don't know how involved he was with that club. You know, it was one of those deals where they just took the name. You know, like George Lopez with
He wasn't. He was rarely there. He was rarely there.
Yeah, by rarely, I think you mean never. Once to sign the lease, and then once to pick up a pair of shoes he left there or something. That's it. I don't think he was ever there. It'd be funny if you got booked there and you went there and you were thinking, oh, I wonder if I get to see Jon Lovett. You're like, no, you're not going to see Jon Lovett. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I probably did think that once, and then you go in, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm never.
Yeah,
gonna
there's
see
no
Jon
way
Lovett
he's coming
here.
in here.
Yeah.
Staff
I shouldn't
doesn't want to
even
be
see
here.
myself here.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't want anybody
you
to know I'm here. That's good. There's always confused. There's always like a group of confused tourists, especially the people from out of town. If they're in that situation, they're thinking, well, if you're in LA, you never know who's going to pop in, and you want to go at this club. No one. Like it's the most inconvenient club to go to. You know, you had to drive the park, the park and the structure. You know, so any other club in town, you could zip in real quick, do a set, and leave. This was a 25-minute project just to get in the building. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to do time, you didn't go there.
Even the tourists knew. Oh yeah, that's great. You never know who's gonna pop in. Me,
Yeah.
the tourist, and that's it. Really, that's it. Me, the German tourist, who's
Yeah.
not gonna understand much of anything.
You go
Yeah.
home and
They
tell
would always
people.
sell it like, oh, you can sit down, have a few drinks. It's like,
Yeah.
don't worry about the comedy. Your feet are tired. Go here.
It's so sad. They're selling it by how tired you are. Look, here's the deal. I know you're exhausted. I have a room you can sit in, and you can have some liquor, and there'll be some people talking near you. Would you be interested in that? You can sit down. It's
Yeah.
air conditioned. You always push the air. It's air conditioned. You know, go inside.
It's air conditioned.
Yeah, it's the big selling point always to
Like a-
anything. Yeah,
It's like a shitty motel.
sure.
Got cable. Got cable.
Okay,
huh?
we got all the channels. HBO. For a while, they pushed that. We got HBO. We got HBO. That's their whole.
There'd be this giant
The big
marquee. and
should be
just
signed to HBO. That's.
Oh.
Ooh, they have HBO. Martha,
Stop the car.
let's go
Stop
here.
the car.
That's where we're staying. I would love to sit down and watch HBO on a small, shitty TV. Let's do that. Let's go.
Lock them up. Lock them up. HBO. Oh, man.
I can't believe I almost drove by that place. What was I thinking? All right, Dwyer, let's wrap this up. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's good by me.
Dude, this was perfect. I can't thank you enough for being here, man. Thanks for checking in early. The sound check, everything went perfect. What do you want to?
This is fun for. I hope this is fun for anybody but us.
They enjoyed the show, man. Everybody, I got a lot of thumbs up now. People are watching. Every once in a while, they'll throw a question out. I didn't get many questions. Here's one. Bill, are you this hyper when you're on stage doing comedy? Wow, that's a weird question, but I want to know, are you this hyper?
Sometimes. It moves in and out. I move in, you know.
I come and go.
But yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Sometimes, but yeah, pretty much. Sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you want to push or plug anything? What do you got? You got an album out, you got a CD, you got a DVD, you got a MySpace page?
My CD is called Am I Yelling?
Okay.
And it's on standuprecords.com.
Okay.
Or you can slide into my DMs at Instagram or Twitter, and I'll send you one.
Got it.
I'm Bil Dwyer.
Got it, man.
BILDWYER.
Yeah, there we go. See, guys, I screwed that up in the promo. You know who told me? My brother Mike texted me this afternoon when I was going into the gym.
Oh, yeah, Mike.
He's like, hey.
I'm glad you guys are fucking pals again.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Everybody always says.
Hey, how about that Bears draft, huh?
Dude, that was a great week.
Good.
That was a really good week.
Could be good.
I'm very excited. Are you a White Sox fan or a Cubs fan?
I apologize, but I'm more of a Cubs fan.
You don't have to apologize. White Sox got dealt a bad blow today. But
oh, I know. Luis Robert went down, right?
Yeah, that hurts the White Sox and my fantasy team. So I couldn't be any happier.
How about that? Your mean Mercedes?
Dude, that kid's the best. He was Rookie of the Month.
The kid, 10 years in the minors.
Dude, did you read the stories about this kid? Although there's so many great stories about this kid that are coming out now, and you're like, it's just great to see him get a chance. And he just keeps thriving. Well, Mike and I saw his second game. So Mike and I went down to Anaheim to see the game. So he was already his first game. He went 5 for 5 or something like that, and we saw him go 3 for 3. And then he got after his 8th hit. Mike and I were going nuts. Right? I can't believe this kid is starting out his career with 8 for 8.
Yeah, a record.
It was beautiful. Yeah, but it's great. Amazing. I love seeing the kid thrive because he was going to quit baseball. His dad talked him back into it. You should read some of the stories about him. They're amazing, and it's just great to see this kid get a shot.
I just love it. And he's a big, healthy-looking guy. You know, he's fat. He's fun.
I love him, man. He's a big dude, man. The big guy that just crushes a fastball. All right, man. Let's get out of here. I Am Yelling. I Am Yelling. That's the name of the album, correct? And we'll put. Am
I Yelling? Am I Yelling? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I got Am I Yelling? That's what I wrote. Go check your own album.
There we go. There. Am I?
Oh, there we go. That's almost like a Sam Kinison label. They look like Sam Kinison on the cover there.
See the bears on the back? Bears hat on the back.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put all that info in the bio so that people can check it out. Go to check out Bill's album, man. Grab it if you can. Mr. Dwyer, thanks for being here, buddy. You're the best.
Thanks, Lenny.
All right, buddy. That's Bil Dwyer. Folks, that was Bil Dwyer. That went great. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll say it myself because Saturday's show was a train wreck. Tonight, no train wreck. Today, very good. Excellent. Went perfect. Guys, thanks for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around. Like the video, please, everybody. Make sure you like the video. Did I like it? I don't even think I like my own video. There we go. I like my own video. Make sure you like the video if you can. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. All that stuff. Myrtle, very funny. Bill, I'll ask Bill if he's allergic to cats. We'll double check because I know he's single now. So he is on the market, Myrtle. So there you go. Wednesday, Jeff Capri will be here. We'll be prepping or setting up our shows in Vegas this weekend. I'm in Delirious Comedy Club. I believe he's in Jokesters. And I love Jeff. I haven't seen him in years. We used to work together in Orange County back in early years of us doing stand-up. So he will be here Wednesday night. The rest of you guys, I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves. As always, dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase their shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.